Good morning, grade 11. Here's another record discussion or another lesson uh, before your final examination. The lesson is the ethical standards in writing. So, the ethical standards of research establish the values and expectations of a research so that information generated is written accurately and appropriately in accordance to the highest moral principles of research. So, when we say ethical, may basic siyang tinatawag. Malaking factor na alam niyo yung rules pagdating sa standards sa pagsusulat ng research. Hindi lang basta susulat kayo or kung ano man, kundi meron tayong dapat mga sinusunod. So, mahalaga yun. So, these ethical standards are governed by core values of integrity, confidentiality, anonymity, and privacy through informed consent, voluntary participation, beneficence, justice, and rights to review. So it is important to adhere to ethical principles in order to protect the dignity, rights, and welfare of the research participant. So, tinitingnan dito yung privacy ninyo as a researcher ang tawag sa inyo kapag nagre-research na kayo. Kumbaga, nandun pa rin yung iniingatan yung mga documents, informations na ilalabas ninyo. So, yun yung tinatawag na standards when it comes to ethical. So, meron tayong mga core values para dyan. So these principles are honesty, integrity, trustworthiness, openness, carefulness, respect for intellectual property, and social and legal responsibility. So, respect for intellectual property. So, kung kayo ay isang researcher at dahil nagre-research kayo, pinoprotektahan nito yung pagrespeto sa anumang data na ilalabas ninyo or ipapakita ninyo. So, more on connect sila sa bawat isa. Yung honesty, papuntang integrity, yung trust, tapos yung pagiging careful at yung respect. So, this lesson introduces you to the ethical standards of research before, during, and after the conduct of study. So, overall na ito. Nag-start kayo, nasa gitna kayo, and at the beginning, kasama yan sa inyong pagsusulat. So, conflicts that might arise while carrying out the research and possible solutions to address it. So, while doing your research, marami kayong problems na may encounter. Lack of resources. So, yan. So, dapat careful kayo dyan. Then, marami kayong conflicts na mamimit during your research study. So, dapat careful kayo sa lahat. Okay? Then, during the course of the conduct of research, common difficulties may arise that will greatly affect the results of your research. As a researcher, one must be adept enough to foresee possible challenges to your research so that it will be resolved sooner. So, as a researcher, dapat daw ay tinitingnan na natin kung ano yung mga possible na difficulties or mistakes na pwedeng mangyari. So, dapat handa tayo doon at dapat meron tayong mga plano para doon. So, hindi lang mag-stick tayo sa plan A, kundi dapat we have another set of plans para sa ating research. Para dumating man yung problem na yun while doing your research, meron na kayong solution for that. So, ganun dapat ang isang researcher. Kaya din kayo nagre-research is to find the solution or the remedy for that particular problem for your SOP, which is the statement of the problem. So, yun siya. So, below is a summary of difficulties. So, isa-isayin natin siya. Difficulties, challenges, or issues na pwede nating ma-encounter. Ayan. So, first is the unavailability of respondents. So, ito yung mga common na magiging problem natin while doing our research. So, tandaan nyo to para dumating man kayo sa punto na kayo na yung nagre-research ay alam niyo na yung mga pwedeng gawin in case na hindi sila maging okay. So, first is the unavailability of the respondents. For example, your topic or your title is about, or your research is about yung mga parents ay OFW. Ayan. So, the question is unavailability of respondents. Kumbaga, wala kayong kakilala na ganon. Kumbaga, wala kayong kakilala na pamilya na ang magulang ay nag-OFW. So, yun yung tinatawag na unavailability of respondents. Ibig sabihin, hindi nagko-corresponds yung sources mo pagdating sa respondents dun sa pinaka-topic mo. So, isang difficulty na yon para sa isang researcher. So, hindi po pwede. So, maraming factor na tinitingnan natin. Minsan, once na meron tayong topic, tapos isipin natin sino bang magiging respondents natin. So, ayan. So, isa yan sa mga tinitingnan natin. So, unavailability of respondents. Second is the non-cooperation or refusal of respondents to answer questions. So, non-cooperation or refuse of the respondents to answer the question. So, may pagkakataon na may mga questions na hindi naman nila kayang sagutin. So, nare-refuse sila, nagkakaroon sila ng doubt kung ano bang gagawin doon. So, isa yun sa mga nagiging difficulty natin. Then, pag binalik sa atin ng questionnaire na nasagutan, so may ilan dyan na hindi nasagutan or binlangkuhan. So, isa na yun sa mga nagiging difficulty natin. Third, failure of respondents to remember data or give honest responses. So, yung iba, dahil nakikisuyo tayo sa kanila na magbigay ng opinion or sagutan yung ating questionnaire. So, yung iba doon, mali-mali, minsan, hindi naman nagiging honest talaga. So may mga ganon. Difficulty natin yon kasi challenge sa atin yon kasi maapektuhan yung ating result. Tama? So, maapektuhan siya. Fourth is the delayed or failure in returning questionnaires with responses. So, nagbigay ka ng questionnaire, nagbigay ka ng deadline, but hindi na meet yung deadline mo. So, difficulty natin siya. Challenge yan para sa atin. Fifth, incomplete documents and records. So, talagang problema natin yan kung talaga may kulang. 6 ay unscientific data. So, walang basis, kumbaga. Okay? 7, no local data are available. So, wala. Ibig sabihin, may kulang na doon sa ating research paper. 8, lacking of instruments. So, ayan. 9, communication problems. 10, funds are tight. So, yan ang usual na nagiging malaking factor sa mga nagre-research kasi sinasabi na magastos, ganyan-ganyan. Pero, basta kaya naman sa panahon natin ngayon, nag-online survey questionnaire na lang din sila. So, yun siya. Funds are tight. So, in every problem, there is a simple and plausible solution. And adage once says, here are some tips to minimize problems in conducting a research. So, if there is a problem, if we have problems to be encountered while we doing our research, so, ito naman yung mga tips na pwede nyong gamitin at i-apply sa inyong pag-research. So first is ensure available funds and budget for study to be conducted. So magtabi na, mag-save na kayo. Siguraduhin nyo na kapag ipiprint nyo yan, meron kayong ilalabas na mga funds para dyan. Second is the team members should know their assigned task well. So team members should know. So, hindi lang po isa o dalawa ang gagawa out of 7 or out of 5, kundi dapat ang bawat isa sa inyo ay merong task. So, sa kanya nakatask tong ganito, siya gagawa nito, siya ang magkakandak ng survey, ganyan-ganyan. So, para kahit paano, may natatapos kayo bawat isa at lahat ay kumikilos. Okay, tandaan nyo yan. Third is to identify respondents ahead of time and maintain a list of contact lines and addresses to easily follow them up. So, i-identify muna natin, of course, our respondents, tapos sasabihan natin agad sila na isa sila sa magiging respondents natin. So, para naman masave natin yung time, hindi yung oras mismo, magsagot ka sa survey ko, ganyan-ganyan, without informing them. So, dapat sabihan muna natin sila ahead of time para hindi tayo nagkakaroon ng delay or kung ano man. Fourth is the draft a clear and reliable timeline of activities. So, gumawa kayo ng plano. For example, Monday, gagawin niyo yung introduction, kasama ang SOP. Tuesday, gagawin niyo yung chapter 2. So, yung something na bawat araw, meron kayong nagagawa. So, at the end of the week, i-check natin ulit siya, isa-isain ulit natin siya. So, at least, meron talaga kayong natatapos. Fifth, reproduce copies of essential documents always. So, dapat meron kayo laging naka-printed kasi makurap man yung file ninyo sa laptop or sa USB, sa flash drive ninyo, at least meron kayong naka-hard copy. So, at least meron kayong naka-print ng naka-print. At least, while checking your work, kapag chinek ang work ninyo, mas maigi na naka-print siya. Para nakikita nyo mismo kung ano yung dapat i-revise, dapat i-correct. Ayan. 6, ask for permits always before conducting any activity. Yes, so dapat meron kayong letter. So, sa pagsasurvey ninyo, of course, meron kayong dapat, let's say, your topic is about the barangay, sa barangay, waste, yung pagtatapon ng basura. For example, yun ang topic ninyo. So, before you conduct your survey questionnaire to the people of that particular barangay, of course, you need to give a letter or permission to the barangay captain, to the barangay hall. So, para payagan nila kayo. So, 1 letter yun na. And then, 1 letter ulit para sa respondent. So, iyon ay, bago kayo magpa-survey, dapat may letter muna. Kung para sa bayan, kung anong lugar kayo, kung anong school kayo, kung kayo ba estudyante, or kung para saan yan. So, of course, dapat meron kayong palaging permit bago kayo mag-conduct ng kahit na anong activity. Then, if ever man napupunta kayo sa mga library, of course, you need to present your letter again, signed by your teacher, dyan sa subject nyo na yan. Then, dadalhin nyo siya, ipapresent nyo siya dun sa library na napupuntahan ninyo. And then, pakita nyo lang yung ID nyo na kayo ay estudyante dun sa school na yun. So, ganun lang naman siya. Number 7, conduct ocular inspection of research or sampling site ahead of time. Conduct ocular. So, pwede kayong pumunta, ito yung sinasabi ko, to get or to research for your study. Okay? 8, always send emails, communications, and appointments beforehand. So, wag kayong mambibigla. Dapat ahead of time, pinaplano nyo yan, sinasabi nyo yan. Okay? 9. Have a clear written agreement with all participating persons, agencies, and areas. 10. Bear in mind the objectives of the study and be flexible in adjusting to present conditions when necessary. So, kung ano man ang maging nagpaalam kayo, then ito yung condition nila, ganyan-ganyan. So, you have to follow. Susundin nyo yun. Kasi kayo yung nakikiusap, kayo yung lumalapit. Okay? So, scientific misconduct might arise when ethical standards are not followed, such as the following. First, ito ang mahalaga pagdating sa ethical standards when it comes to writing. First is the plagiarism. So, aware naman na kayo dito sa word na to. So, this refers to the fraudulent acts that entail claiming another person's ideas, work, or publication violating intellectual property rights by stealing and dishonesty. So, this usually happens in scientific publication. So, hindi nyo kailangan gawin yan. So, create your own, make your own, dapat sarili ninyo. Or, pwede nyong hiramin yung paper nila, then iparaphrase ninyo, pero don't forget to put their names in your bibliography, in your references. Okay? So, nandun pa rin yung acknowledgement para dun sa mga tao na hihiraman mo ng kanilang opinion about, kasi related sila sa study mo. So, ganun lang naman siya. Second is the fabrication of data. It involves producing data without an actual experimentation or altering data in recording with the intent to fit them to desired results. So, wag kayong mandadaya ng resulta. Wag nyo isipin na dapat ito yung maging resulta ng study ninyo. No, kasi kaya nga kayo nagre-research is to know kung ano ba yung maging problema, and then you have to recommend something. Okay? Wag nyo dadayain or tatapalan or maliin ang magiging resulta ng inyong research. Kasi makaka-apekto yan, di ba? So, para saan pa yung research ninyo kung babaguhin nyo lang din naman at kung kayo lang din naman ang masusunod. Di ba? Para saan ang respondents? Para saan ang pag-come up ng different related literature for your study kung babaguhin nyo lang din naman. So, dapat no bias, kung ano yung lumabas, yun siya. Third is the falsification of data. So, entails faulty gathering of data due to negligence and carelessness which lead to errors in measurement or instrument used. Error may also be caused by inappropriate application of treatment to the subjects and poor data recording. So, falsification of data. Ito din naman yung pandaraya. Paano ba? Kumbaga, hindi na mineasure yung instrument. Puro error na lang. So, binago-bago na, pinalitan-palitan, para tapos na agad. No. Ang tawag doon is falsification of data. Parang ano lang yan. Nag-apply ka ng work, kailangan mo ng, yung in-applyan mo is kailangan is college degree, but high school degree yung meron ka. So, pupunta ka sa recto, papagawa ka doon. So, ang tawag doon is falsification of data. Diba? Naintindihan ba yun? So, ganun siya. So, error na yun. So, hindi siya appropriate for the research natin. Fourth, NonPublication of data. In contrast with fabrication and falsification, this involves choosing not to include data because they do not conform to the well-established body of knowledge or are unsupportive of the research hypothesis. Only the results that do not reject the hypothesis are reported and published. So, non-publication of data. So, huwag kayong gagamit ng mga datas na ilalagay ninyo for your research kung hindi naman siya talaga swab. at hindi naman talaga siya available. So, kinuha nyo lang. Walang support knowledge dun sa pinaka. Let's say, nag-research kayo sa Google. So, may nakita kayo doon. Kinapi-paste ninyo. So, pagdating sa ibaba, meron pa. Kumbaga, may kasunod pa siya. Kaya lang, kailangan mong mag-login, ganyan, kailangan mong mag-ganyan. Marami kang process na gagawin. So, kinuha mo lang yung pinaka-umpisa, yung pinaka-introduction. So, may mali na agad. 'Di ba? May mali na agad dun sa resources mo. Okay? So, ganun siya. So, to avoid such encounters and to ensure ethical standards are followed, ethics review committees usually require research studies to undergo review proceedings by submission of pertinent documents that will verify the truthfulness of data, information, and paper presented. So, ayan, nasabi na natin lahat. So, the following are some of this. So, again, ulitin ko ha. To avoid such encounters and to ensure ethical standards are followed, ethics review committees usually require research studies to undergo review proceedings. So, yung babanggitin ng mga susunod is for the review proceedings. So, para hindi kayo magkamali at para okay ang paper ninyo. First, checklist for adult sponsors, which includes parents' consent and advisors' consent. So, what is it? Second is the student checklist, which tells learners information, consent, and ensures student safety. Yes. Third is the human participants form, which provides information for description, recruitment, protection of privacy, and informed consent process. Fourth, for scientific researches, research institution and qualified scientist form, human participants form, vertebrate animals form, potentially hazardous biological agents form, and hazardous chemical activities form. Fifth, research plan, which discusses in summary the rationale or the rational hypotheses, methods, risk and safety, data analysis, and references or the bibliography. So, dapat nakaplan siya. 6 is the risk assessment form, which evaluates the extent of hazards posed by the conduct of research. So, it includes assessing safety and respondents or sampling local. Or in the events of scientific studies, the biosafety hazards like methods of disposing chemical and biological agents, drug, dosage, and delicate instruments. So, yun yung mga proceedings ng isang or yung mag-check ng isang research paper. 7, research abstract. Mahalaga yan kasi naka-concise na yan from the introduction up to the recommendation. So, naka-concise siya. So, which is not more than 250 words that clearly and concisely state the purpose, procedures, data collected, and conclusions of the research. And then 8, research logbook with start and end, dates, pictures, documentations, notes during the course of the research that shows detailed and accurate processes. So, ito yung mahalagang chine-check sa isang research paper. Ayan. So, I hope you really understand what is the ethical standards in writing. So, mahalaga po yan. Okay po? So, ayan. Ethical standards in writing. So, I hope you really understand. And if you have concerns or any concerns pagdating sa research ninyo, just approach me. So, thank you and God bless. Thank you.